Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time, and thank you, as always, for your tweets. Shaka Hislop with us in the studio. You're a little late to the show today, Shaq. What happened?
No, I thought I was here. I was here all along.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Nedum and Frank join us as well to answer some of your tweets. Have we ever seen a loan player hit the ground running as much as Lingard? Is he the best loan signing of all time? Goodness gracious me, no one's going to remember anyone who's been on loan in the past. Nedum, did you go out on loan during your playing days? What's that like?
Yeah, I did actually. I did it for one season on loan to Sunderland from Man City. And believe it or not, even though Sunderland are in League One now, we actually aim to finish in the top 10 in the Premier League, and I believe we finished 9th. So overall, it was a very good loan, and I did get goal of the season. So between myself and Lingard, I think we're the two in terms of, most influential loan players in history.
You know who was always good on loan? Adebayor. Remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Struggled with us. I think he went to City on loan, went to Real Madrid on loan, and did really well both times.
Yes.
That name come into my head randomly, so I just thought I'd blurt it out, Dan.
I tell you what, Frank, when I was at Real Madrid, we had Julien Faubert on loan. Do you remember him? He used to play for West Ham, French defender. He was the worst signing Real Madrid have ever made. He was famous for falling asleep once on the bench during a game.
No, I remember, and he made an interview after he went to Bordeaux, I think, and he made an interview saying that even him was very surprised that Real Madrid called him. He was really wondering what he was doing there.
Before the season began, David Moyes was the favourite to be the first manager sacked. Not only was he not the first, but he has Shaka's Hammers in contention for a Champions League spot. Is there anyone else we should consider for Premier League Manager of the Year? Oh, what he's done here is MOY for Manager of the Year, but Moyes. Nedum?
Yeah, I think so. I think if they finish top 4, for me, I think he should get all the votes. Because for whatever Pep's done and Ole's done and whatever, the fact of the matter is, West Ham were not expected to be in the position they're at now. So it's Moyes from me.
Oh, yes. Frank?
Yeah, I agree. I would be a complete miracle, if I may say, So I would be Moyes as well. But let's see what Tuchel does, because, Chelsea wasn't in a very good shape.
What a terrible Tuchel.
But it's not for the whole season. No, because I tried to find somebody else, because except Moyes, there is nobody else who
So
can
yes,
fight.
but of other people, why would you go
see-
Thomas Tuchel?
Because the only one who did something special comparing to the others.
What's he
I
done?
tried to find somebody else.
What's he done, Frank?
What he done? 15 games undefeated out of 14 games undefeated out of 15. So it's not too bad. For a club wasn't very well before he signed. That's just that. There is no comparison whatsoever so far. But let's say that if he wins the Champions League, that he goes for the Champions League spot, what do you do? What do you do? And Moyes doesn't do that and finished 5th. What do you name? Best coach in the season? Who's gonna be? Who's gonna be? Answer to me, please. Please, mister. Answer to me.
Right. Frank wants an answer.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the answer.
Not from me. He wants
Yeah,
an
it was
answer
answer from you. Don't look at me.
I just can't believe your pro-Chelsea
That's for you.
ways.
Yes, from you.
Your pro-Chelsea ways are too much, Frank,
No.
these days.
No, answer to me, please, Dad. If Moyes is
Chelsea
finished
to the top
5th,
4 is not worthy of a manager of the month, year, or whatever.
no, if he wins the Champions
Oh,
League,
that's unfair.
and
David
he
Moyes can't
finished
win the
in
Champions League because he's not in it.
Well, next year he will.
It's an unfair comparison.
Next
It's
year,
not
David
the
Moyes
point.
will.
The point is, who is the best coach this season? If Tuchel wins the Champions League and finish in the first 4, and Moyes doesn't finish in the first 4, who are you gonna name?
But what if Moyes does finish in the top 4? This is what this person's saying.
Yeah, but answer to my question.
But if Moyes finishes in the top
you don't
4,
want
then that's a bigger success than Tuchel's had at Chelsea in the Premier League.
Okay, if you want to. But you don't want to answer to my question, whatever.
How do we stop players screaming and rolling around the ground where they've hardly been touched? Between that, bad refereeing and VAR, football is a hard watch. Nedum?
I I don't think you can. I think people are obviously paying more attention to it now because there's no crowd noise. But this has been going on for decades, essentially. You know, sometimes you might get clipped and it might hurt. Sometimes you might get clipped and it doesn't hurt. But you still need to draw attention to it. Not that I ever did it, of course. But it's actually part of the game. But people are obviously upset because they can hear it more. But give it another year or so, and I'm sure you won't be too bothered about it. So just let it be.
You never hear goalkeepers squealing like that. Really toughest players in the park, you know.
Screw it. When someone goes up for you and you're challenging, you go down like that, looking at the referee.
No, don't.
And you always get it.
No, we don't.
Always.
Goalkeepers are the toughest players in the park.
Oh my God, Frank, the goalkeeper, the toughest
You know how you stop it? By having 11 goalkeepers. That's where you. That's where you stop it.
Frank.
The only way you stop it.
Well, they don't play the same game. You know, they're not in the middle of the park. You know, they're all protected. We can't touch them. So what do we talk about them?
That's right. Yeah.
Why?
They're not even worth wasting our breath about. I like it.
Why is Frank so angry today?
Yeah.
Frank is angry today.
Frank's he's a little bit.
No, I'm not. I'm not interested by that question. I'm not. That's it.
All right, Frank. This is our viewers who we cherish. There aren't many of them in the first place. You've got to be angry at them. Frank, do you think Allan Saint-Maximin plays for a more talented team than Newcastle? Well, scored today, didn't he?
He was good.
Well, Saint-Maximin had some issues with Patrick Vieira when he was playing for Nice, and I a couple of times talked to Patrick. He's a talented player. He at the time didn't do what he had to do to be better. He showed that he's capable of doing something for Newcastle. Yes, he's not maybe helped by his teammates, but I don't know. If nobody except Newcastle asked him to come over, there is maybe a reason why. He has to show more consistency, he has to show more professionalism in order to attract some other clubs and be convinced, and those clubs convinced that they have to hire him. But I don't have the answer. But he has the talent to play in a better club, that's for sure.
Let's talk defending. What type of teams do the guys fear more? A strong counter-attacking team or a team that holds the ball and develops their attack? Frank?
No, I would be the second one, you know, because you higher on the field, and I saw Barcelona playing, you know, very high on the field, pressing as soon as they lost the ball, and in fact, when you are a defender, you don't really defend because you're always in the position of the ball, so it's easier, it's less tiring. We can see Tottenham suffering now because they've been defending half of the season long. So I guess it's better the second option where you get the ball and you make the other run.
Nedum?
I think with a team that keeps the ball very well, I think you can get frustrated playing against them because you know that you have to be your best throughout the entire game. But to talk about the other side of it, if you see a team that's really, really good on the counter-attack, then you're always going to be nervous because if they're really good back there, they're probably going to overmatch you, if you know what I mean, in terms of like your defenders to their attackers, like what Vardy was a few years ago. And when that's the case, I think sometimes teams lose their patience when you go against a team who literally just drop off. And when they lose their patience, their strong counter-attack's always there. So for me, I think the more dangerous one in my mind are the ones who can sit back but have got a very, very good counter-attack.
Nedum, when you're going to add a little bit more pizzazz behind you, I think we need something a bit more special. Look at this.
1 second.
Here we go. What have we got? Oh, yes. It's beautiful.
That's nice.
Is that better?
Sorry, Dad.
I like it. Much better.
I'm a bit concerned that Nedum just has that bear ready to call on.
I don't think it's a bear. It's a unicorn, isn't it?
I didn't. Did I say a bear?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
You did. You said he's got a bear to call upon.
I said he has that there to call on.
Oh, he sounded like bear. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know what to say to that.
Oh, what's this thing?
There you go. See?
Monster truck.
This is a car. Just because Shaka wanted me to show my masculinity, so yeah, there's a monster truck here as well.
Yes.
Just to keep you happy, Shaka. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, that made me happy.
What's Frank getting out? What's that, Frank?
I got a disc, the Super Tramp.
Wow. For our younger viewers, this is how we used to listen to music in Frank's days.
Yes. And we enjoyed.
Turntables are making a comeback.
Say again?
Turntables are making a comeback. People are buying turntables these days.
There we go, good. Do they call them turntable?
I don't know.
Okay. Dreamer. Right, careful. We're going to have to pay royalties on these. Stop it!
Shush!
We have to pay royalties, Frank. We can't afford that. We've got to pay for Nedum's background. Right. Where are we? Frank.
The biggest troll on TV.
Right, let's do it. Frank, has Havertz's current form changed your mind about his world-class talent? Played well, didn't he, against Palace?
I mentioned that during the show. Yes, definitely. I know what he's capable of, and I know that he's capable of doing better than that. And Tuchel just said that after the game when he said, well, finally, Havertz showed to the world what he's capable of. And I knew it because I saw him playing for his former club, and he was doing great. And for the first time, yesterday, I saw him doing what I was expecting from him. So I'm very, very pleased with his performance. But we all talk about consistency when we talk about football, so he will have to repeat that many, many other times.
Nedum, as you were known to be quite the speedster yourself, who was the fastest player you ever played against?
I would say early on, I'd say maybe a Dennis Romadal, but then after that, probably Gareth Bale. This was Gareth Bale when he was fully motivated, just wanted to kick and run and all that stuff. And the way he used to just breeze past people, I'd probably say him. Gareth Bale in those early years at Spurs, yeah.
So I Googled Nedum Onuoha's speed. 11.09 seconds, a 14-year-old Nedum Onuoha ran 100 metres. 11 seconds.
That is good.
Blimmin' heck, Nedum.
That's very
So obviously
good.
that was at 14.
Let's put some more meat on that bone. So that time made me the second fastest in the 100 in England from at that moment. So there's more to it. It wasn't just me running on a field to get that time. There was context there, yeah.
So where did it all go wrong?
Well, you see, that's the thing. I decided to turn to football, and to this day, it's still not a decision which I regret.
Wow.
Because for as fun as athletics is, I think football's just got that little bit more.
I don't know, Olympic gold, that's pretty cool.
No one said I'd be doing that, don't worry about that, sir. I'd probably still be running for the same amateur side now, but you know, I've had a 16-year football career, which isn't too bad.
No, that's... I'm impressed. 11 seconds, Shaq. What was your 100-metre time at 14?
10.9.
Oh, dear.
Frank, did you foresee Deschamps and Zidane becoming such good managers when you were playing with them?
No doubt about Deschamps, and it was something that everybody predicted, and I think he was born for that more than a player. He was born to be a coach. But Zidane, he was completely unexpected, and really he never talked about it. I think he didn't have the thought about it before Real Madrid maybe offered him to follow the academy and train them. And it developed. I think it developed while he was at the academy, all his talent as a coach, and really amazed me because I saw a documentary about him 3 years before he took Real Madrid the first team, and I didn't like it. And I saw the following of that like 2 years after, and it was a different person. He had everything psychologically. You know, tactically, he was working so hard with the players, and was so much into it. It really, really amazed me.
So, Frank, what's interesting, and it's impossible, obviously, to judge someone on just what you see their way in which they are in the media, but Zidane is quite... He's not very talkative.
He's reserved.
No, he's not. He was just like me, speechless, you know, exactly like me.
Yeah, that's not like you at all, Frank. So, like, was it, when you had a conversation with Zidane, was it mostly like any other conversation that people had with Frank Leboeuf, 95% Frank?
Yeah, I never had a discussion with Zidane. I had one discussion with him after his career, and it was him asking me how I was able to learn all the lines for a play.
Right.
And that was the first discussion that I had with him, and I said, well, it's nice. It's somebody who barely talked.
Yeah.
It was somebody who's who was listening to others and pretty much a shy person, listening to Christophe Dugarry making jokes, but that's it. And on the field, he wasn't complaining about anything, wasn't talking, never said anything in the dressing room during halftime. If Deschamps was coming to him and talked to him, that really, what he became as a coach is a real surprise.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic in terms of results, but also in terms of what he's capable of doing as a human being.
And of course, he coached Real Madrid to another big win yesterday against Barcelona in the pouring rain, which leads us to this question. The worst field conditions that you played a game in, Nedum?
It would be the last game of my career for Real Salt Lake against Sporting Kansas City, and let's say there was a blizzard to the point where you tried to roll the ball 10 yards with a normal force and it might travel 3.
Wow.
The snow was just accumulating on the ball. You couldn't see across to the other side of the field, and overall it was a game which really shouldn't have gone on. But then in the same breath, it's a very, very memorable last game for me. And yeah, it was the first time in my career I used an orange ball, and it was definitely needed because, to be honest, you could barely see a thing.
So after that, we're like, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's not fun.
It was the exact opposite. It was the exact opposite. I thought this is actually brilliant, but it's a nice memory because I came off at 60 minutes and I was just standing on the sideline, just looking out, thinking, wow, this is something which I'm going to talk about on ESPN FC in 6 months' time. So it was a great moment for me.
I think things are going to fall so quickly in your career to be stuck with us. That's it. Thank you very much. We are done. ESPN FC will be back on your screens tomorrow, and of course be looking ahead to those big Champions League matches. I'll ask Frank's prediction. He'll tell me to shut up. The standard stuff. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN Plus.